my mother gets close to dies, 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 dies. We are going to be talking about Velma Barfield, Velma Barfield. That quote was from her son, Ronnie Burke. His father is Thomas Burke, also known as Velma Barfield's first victim. We are gonna keep the lights a little bit low tonight and get really, really cozy, if that's okay with you. If that's okay with you, please let me know if that's okay with you. Velma Barfield was born October 29th, 1932 in South Carolina. Velma was born to a very, very poor family that was toxic and abusive. Several sources had speculated that Velma was sexually assaulted and physically abused by her father. She began to steal, and at the age of 17, met Thomas Burke, the father of her son, who I quoted earlier. Velma saw this as a marriage of safety. A marriage of safety and opportunity. They had 2 children, and Velma was quoted to be a wonderful mother. She had finally escaped her horrible family life and could create her own perfect family. During this time, though, Velma began to abuse prescription pills and became addicted. Thomas Burke was drinking heavily, and Velma's untreated mental illnesses began to spiral out of control. One particularly bad fight. Velma left Thomas Burke with their two children. While she was away, the house burnt I'm sorry if you guys can hear my roommates out in the living room. It was silent, but I just heard somebody come home. So I apologize if you hear them. Velma's mother fell ill around this time. The relationship was strained when her mother began to question her and her drug use. When she noticed that her checkbook had missing checks. Shortly after this altercation between her and her mother, she fell ill and died. But again, nobody suspected anything, any foul play, and the community continued to mourn for a very, very unlucky, grieving, cursed Velma. However, she did get in trouble for check fraud and served a small time in jail. When Velma was released from prison, she made her way to Lumberton, North Carolina. It always seems that whenever I'm doing a video, my phone starts to go off. My nose itches. I apologize. Velma made her way to Lumberton, North Carolina. She cared for an elderly couple, Montgomery Edwards and Dolly Edwards. This new job was to support her drug habit that she picked back up after prison. And the elderly are easy targets. They are an easy target. They were an easy target for Velma. Montgomery Edwards died shortly after Velma had begun working with the couple, and then 1 month later, Dolly Edwards had passed away and fell ill. Some people grieved. Some people raised their eyebrows. But one thing was certain. Velma Barfield was cursed. In 1977, Velma meets her second husband, Stuart Taylor, and they fell madly in love. One day, Stuart found a letter from a prison inmate addressed to Velma. He confronted her, completely unaware of her past, and he was very angry. He threatened to expose course, mysteriously, Stuart falls ill and dies. And this time, nobody feels bad for Velma. In fact, everybody became suspicious. Stuart's body was autopsied. Stuart had been poisoned to death with arsenic. And Velma was charged with murder. Velma confessed to Stuart's murder and death, confessing that she just wanted to make him ill. Just wanted to make him sick. But then she confessed to burning down Thomas Burke's home. She confessed to killing the Edwards couple. And she even admitted to the death of her own mother, who had threatened to expose her drug addiction. Bodies were exhumed, and whoever could be looked at was looked at, and indeed, Velma's weapon of choice was arsenic. Which nobody had even ever expected, because arsenic mimics symptoms of the elderly. So nobody even knew. Poisoning also was a way for Velma to control her victims, prolonging their death, their sickness. Murder became a coping mechanism for Velma, and a maladaptive behavior for years, fueled by an incredibly powerful drug addiction. She was able to console and guide these incredibly disturbed women better than any other prisoners or even guards could sometimes handle. Velma believes, and had believed, that she never, ever, 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 ever would have killed anybody, if she did not have a drug problem. She only wanted to make those around her sick and ill and suffer for even just a little bit. A little bit. Velma was put to death by lethal injection. Her last meal was cheese doodles and Coke. A can of Coke and some cheese doodles. Velma became the first. She became the first. The first woman since 1962, since the death penalty had been reinstated, to be executed by lethal injection. So roughly, it had been 20 plus years. And Velma was the first woman to meet the death penalty fate since it was reinstated. Velma was buried next to Thomas Burke. Her first husband and her first victim. Although Velma did confess to several murders, it is unclear if Velma was involved in others or had attempted to kill or make ill others before. Thank you for listening and for joining me tonight in this tingly, dim, dark, creepy setting and story. I highly recommend looking into the story of Velma Barfield even more for yourself. There is a lot of information, and there are plenty of videos and interviews that you can watch to get a stronger sense of who Velma was. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you are relaxed. Please know that you are loved.